What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got news of Premium Booster 02. Premium Booster 02 has gone and been revealed, and we've got cards, we've got booster pack image. Frankly, we've got quite a lot of news about Premium Booster 02. So let me share with you all about it. As always, by the way, all the translations have been done by myself, but I think I'm getting pretty good at this now, so I'm pretty confident. So yay! So starting off with Premium Booster 02 then, before we get to some specific cards, it's worth pointing out that we have been given some specific information about the set as a whole, which should be of quite a lot of interest. Now, it is kind of 10 card packs, 550 yen, as you would expect. It's a premium booster. But it says that in every pack, you are guaranteed to get a super rare or higher. That is a thing that is confirmed. So minimum super rare per pack. Now again, it's a premium booster. Maybe we should have been expecting this, but it's still nice to have that confirmation. We also see that essentially we've got parallel Don cards, which are based on leaders. Each leader has a parallel Don, which is kind of awesome, frankly. Again, we saw that back in Premium Booster 01, but it's still very nice indeed. There are some super parallel cards that are exclusive to Premium Booster 02, and some popular cards are getting reprinted with parallel illustrations. Parallel illustration is how Japan terms alternate arts. We say alt arts, they say parallel illustrations, same kind of deal. Either way, we've got popular cards reprinted with new artwork. Now, it does say also. So it seems like we're going to have some reprints and then also some alt arts, but that does suggest that some are going to be straight reprints. It literally says popular cards reprinted, parallel illustration also, which I think is pretty clear. Now, it does say that there is going to be one super rare and two rares in each colour, new cards. Two rare, one super rare in each colour are going to be new. We've also got foil cards with different designs for each character. And then there's going to be 6 SP cards, which are exclusive to Premium Booster 02. And there are going to be exclusive event cards with parallel illustrations. Basically, there's a lot of new stuff, a lot of new illustrations, but there's things like 6 special rares, which we didn't have last time. Things like having, 6 super rares and 12 rares. Well, 1 super rare, 2 rares for each colour, but that comes out as, 6 and 12. That are going to be, brand new cards, which is a lot more than the one leader and nothing else we got in Premium Booster 01. This is a very big deal. This is going to be a great set. But we've had a bunch of cards revealed, including the Luffy, which is coming in as a super rare, but also as an alternate art. And of course, this is where the art from the booster pack actually came from. Both of these are the same card. We've just got the regular and the alternate art, and the alternate art has been used on the booster pack. And what we've got here is 4 cost, 5,000 power, counter plus 1,000, and on your turn, on play, if your leader is multicolour and you have 7 or fewer Don in play, then at the start of your opponent's next main phase, they have to rest one of their Don. That's actually really nice. The wording here is really cool because it rests it at the start of their phase, leaving it unavailable for them for the turn, which I think is really rather fun. This seems like a very cool card. But they did then reveal 1 card for every colour in addition to the Luffy, so it probably seems like we should have a look at these as well. And I'm just double checking, it is 1 card for every colour. That's awesome. So how about Jewelry Bonnie? 3 cost, 3,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And by the way, all of these cards are Premium Booster 02 cards, so they are brand new cards. They're not alternate arts, the ones we've been shown. We've got Blocker, And then we have a skill here that says, when your opponent attacks, once per turn, set one of your Don to active. And this is really nice, because of course we've got the Bonnie leader, which just got reprinted in the starter deck, that needs a Don on your turn, so that you can rest one of your opponent's leader or character cards. Now, I believe the way this would work, and correct me in the comment section if I'm being dumb, but since they're your skills, they activate at the same time, and you decide the order in which they activate. So you should be able to use this Bonnie to activate a Don, then activate your leader skill, and you look and go, oh, I've got a Don ready to go. Plus, we got a fairly low-cost blocker here. I'm just saying this one seems really fun. Another one that looks really fun is the new Nami. Now, what we got here is 2 cost, 2,000 power, counter plus 1,000, and we got a trigger that just lets you play the card. The old classic trigger, but play a card for free is nice. But it's also a generic searcher. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, find a Straw Hat Crew card other than Nami, add it to your hand, put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. And it is card here. It is not character, so you can go and get basically anything, which is pretty gosh darned important. And then what we basically see is a really good Straw Hat Searcher. But might I remind you right now that in PRB-02, we got a partly purple Luffy, which is a ridiculously good card that only works if all your characters are Straw Hat, so even more reason. And then of course, in OP11, we just got a blue-purple Luffy, so again, a part purple Luffy. And let's not forget that the mono-purple Luffy from OP05 is still a very good leader that's making waves. Having a purple Straw Hat Searcher is great! And this one can be played as a trigger as well. So, yeah, there is a lot to like about this card. This card seems incredibly good. But don't worry, we're not done yet. How about Lucky Roo? I really like this Lucky Roo. This one seems like one that could be very, very fun. And what we've got from Lucky Roo here is, firstly, it's a blocker, so, snap Bonnie. But also, we've got on play, you may trash a 6,000 power or higher character from your hand to draw 2 cards. And sure, trashing a 6k or higher from your hand isn't amazing. You might want that character. But then, by another token, we kind of love drawing 2. Playing a 4 cost and drawing 2, oh yeah, and it's a blocker as well? Yes! That seems awesome. And obviously that's Red-Haired Pirate, so it's going to work very nicely with Shanks, which has been a good leader for a while now, and does tend to play some higher power characters. This one again seems very, very fun. We've then got Atama coming in yellow, 2 cost, no power, but we do get counter plus 2,000. And we've got an activate main, rest this character, put the top or bottom card of your life into your hand, and then your leader or one of your characters gets a free K bump. For the turn, I should say. That is for the turn, so if you can attack multiple times, that bump will be given for the rest of the turn. We've then got a trigger, whereby you rest one of your opponent's 4 cost or lower characters. Cool. And I do feel like they are deliberately giving us very useful cards here. And has anyone else realised what they're doing with these reveals? Did you get it when I said they were doing 1 per colour? Have you got it yet with the clues I've been giving you? Yeah, they've given 1 for each starter deck. So this works very nicely with the Yamato here, because, we've got yellow Land of Wano. And it's a very nice card. Now, I'll be honest with you, it's not absolutely perfect in the way that some of the others are, but it still fits very nicely. By the way, I so rolled you a little by not showing you the other Luffy, which is the OP-09, which is part purple, which obviously works very well with the Nami as well, which is very, very cool. So, finishing off, we have a couple I haven't shown you yet. We've got a Shiryu here, which works perfectly with Blackbeard, and it kind of has to be Blackbeard. 4 cost, 5k, counter plus 1,000. But if your leader is Blackbeard Pirates, you gain blocker and +4 cost. And then when KO'd, if your leader is Blackbeard Pirates, then you get to KO one of your opponent's characters with an original cost of 4 or less. Do please bear in mind it is an original cost of 4 or less. What you're not able to do is lower power 2-4 and then go and get them with Shiryu. That unfortunately does not work. You're not allowed to do that. Sorry about that. But look, you got blocker, +4 cost, which gives you that extra protection. And then on KO, bearing in mind you're a blocker, so you're going to get KO'd, but you got +4 cost, so it's going to be harder to remove from skills. So your opponent is probably going to have to actually KO you. And then when they do KO you, you get to KO one of them as well. This seems like a really strong card. The extra cost forcing your opponent to actually attack into you, because their removal is going to be less good, because you're an 8 cost. And then having a really nice on KO skill sounds very nice in these Blackbeard decks. And that means we need one more card. It needs to be blue and it needs to be cross-skilled. Well, wonderful news. We've got Mr. Free Galdino, which is former Baroque Works, and it is cross-skilled. So yes, it will fit very nicely with the buggy from OP9, which we then got reprinted in the starter deck. Although it is an early game card, it's not a 5 cost or higher, which we generally want in buggy. But what we've got is, if this character would be rested by one of your opponent's effects, you can trash it and draw 2. And it's got blocker. So basically, if your opponent wants to try and rest it so you can't block, you can go, boom, trash, draw 2, yay. But otherwise, it's just sitting there as a blocker. But of course, one thing you need to do in a buggy deck is just buy time in the early game to get your bigger cost characters out. So this is going to work as a blocker, and if your opponent rests it with an effect, you can draw a couple of cards instead. I like this. I think they've given us some good new cards here, and I kind of love the way they've matched it in with the recent starter decks. That makes me quite happy. So there we go. That's Premium Booster 02. That's what you need to know about Premium Booster 02. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this set so far. How hyped were you about Premium Booster 01? Do you think this one looks a bit better? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.